Hi guys! So I'm making this video because someone asked me on TikTok quite recently how I colour my drawings after I posted this video where I showed the drawings that I did during the first semester in class. But yeah, I'm going to try to explain how I colour my drawings. So everything that I use fits in this pencil case because I mostly draw in class, and as the video showed, those are all drawings I did in class. I have 3 different types of art supplies. I have highlighters, ball pens and coloured pencils. Those are the art supplies that I use for most of my drawings, if not all of them. I use them interchangeably and I just basically layer each one after the other until I'm happy with the result. So for drawing, what I usually do is I usually start sketching the drawing with coloured pencils. I usually use orange or yellow or pink, especially because I do draw a lot of portraits, so those are kind of the colours that I would use. But yeah, I do that sketching part, especially for drawings where I'm unsure of what I'm doing. But sometimes I might skip this part and just go straight into the second part, which is to use pastel highlighters. I basically sort of just add marks. It can be quite messy, but I do like that. And then once I use pastel highlighters, sometimes I go in with my pencils to highlight certain parts, to colour in, to basically build up colour where I want there to be colour. And yeah, basically play between the two. If I feel like there needs to be more pastel highlighters, then I will use those. If I need more coloured pencils, then I will use those. It's kind of like I do it from a feeling or like a visual thing. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I just do it because I think it will look good. But yeah, basically how I colour is I just layer and layer until I'm sort of happy with it. I do use ball pens, as I said, especially red and blue, and also sometimes green, depending on what I'm drawing. Those will be more for like the line art where I want it to be more pronounced and darker. But yeah, I basically play around until I'm happy with it. These are all drawings that I've done using that 3 art supply combination, which is kind of crazy because I remember for years I hated coloured pencils. I did not like them. I did not like how they looked, and now I'm all about that. So yeah, it's all very much an experiment to be an artist and to make art. So yeah, I don't really have specific rules of how I draw. I just sort of do it. But yeah, I would say that I use those 3 different art supplies and I just layer and layer. I'm usually starting with a sketch base with colour pencils, and then I go in with pastel highlighters for things that are not so colourful. For example, the cat. I know a lot of people wondered how I drew the cat, since the photo was a white cat that I was drawing. I didn't use pastel highlighters except for prominent parts like the eyes and maybe the ears. I can't really remember. But yeah, I mostly used for the white fur just coloured pencils. I used blue, dark blue, purple, and I just sort of layered them very lightly until I was happy with the build-up. Sometimes when I use coloured pencils or when I use very bright highlighters and I think it looks too harsh or too pronounced on the drawing, then I will use pastel highlighters on top to try and sort of make it fade a bit, or to rub it in so that it sort of blends in a little better with the rest of the drawing. When I colour, I try not to be afraid of making a mess. I'm trying to trust the process because a lot of times at the beginning it looks so bad, like so bad. I think, wow, this is not worth finishing, and then the more I add, the more I sort of think, okay, this is sort of looking like something, and sometimes I do actually like the finished look. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, I did something, I guess. But yeah, I think just trust the process, experiment a lot, try using different media and mixing them all together like I do, just building it up until it looks like something. They're pretty flexible rules. I wouldn't really consider them rules, but yeah, even if they were rules, they are pretty flexible in my mind. Sometimes I'll skip the sketching part with coloured pencils and go straight with highlighters because I think that's fun. But yeah, there's different ways for me to colour. Sometimes I do like gradual. I go from the less pigmented to the most pigmented because that's just how it makes sense for the drawing. So using coloured pencils, then pastel highlighters, and then ball pens. Or sometimes I just want to have fun and not really think about being too careful, and so I'll just use highlighters to begin with and also pastel highlighters, and then maybe I'll complete it with coloured pencils for it to be more refined and have a better sort of blended artwork, and then maybe add pens But then again, sometimes I do use also like highlighters and then ball pens, and then I feel like, oh, the ball pen marks or line art looks too harsh. I need to reinforce the drawing with pastel highlighters or colored pencils to sort of smooth it out and make it look more cohesive, I guess. I don't use all of the highlighters for every drawing I do. Sometimes I'll only use specific colors. But yeah, I don't mix absolutely everything. I very rarely use certain colors. For skin, I always use the pastel highlighters, as in the orange, pink, and also the purple one for shadows, and then also colored pencils, so red, orange, yellow, purple again for the shadows, and then on the other spectrum, dark green isn't really one that I use, but I think with practice you'll get comfortable with your art supplies, get comfortable with the colors you like using, and you'll figure out how to make it all work, I guess.
Which way do I turn the steering wheel?
Yeah, I can't tell you how to do it. You just have to know.
Yeah, but unfortunately I don't know.
I don't know if this was that helpful, but yeah, if you have any questions because I was not clear at all, please let me down.
Let me down slowly, let me down.
Let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer there. But yeah, don't hesitate to ask any questions if you have any. And yeah, I hope it was helpful. But yeah, this is how I colour drawings. Again, a lot of my drawings have the same process, but also have different process when using the same media. So obviously maybe me drawing one thing might not be very representative of all of the drawings that I do, but I hope this cleared a couple things at least. So yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!